Good morning, everybody. It's Valerie Ling, clinical psychologist here, coming to you live from what is proving to be a rather wet and dreary morning in Sydney. I don't think anybody will jump on live with me. I reckon I'm just going to refresh my page here. I do think it's school drop off and things like that. But I thought I would come to you live to actually talk to you about how you set up your physical space in the quest against burnout. We can think a lot about our psychological and personal issues and the interpersonal factors that resource and support us, and maybe not spend enough time thinking actually about our work environment. It is a very important part of burnout prevention is to actually think about work resources. I'm certainly putting my mind to that at the moment as I begin a bit of a speaking circuit, and some of them are repeat requests for me to come and speak to them. And because last year I spent quite a lot of time talking about personal resourcing, I'm actually going to be looking more and more now at rolling out solutions within workplaces and organizations. Good morning, Demi. You're up and about. It's a bit dreary where I am. Not sure what the weather is like with you, Demi. This will be interesting for you, Demi. I'm about to share about burnout and making sure that your work environment is actually set up for optimal work. I was very impressed when I heard of one organization who actually hired in a consultant to review all the ergonomics of their workers' environment. And when I heard that, I thought this is actually wonderful for burnout prevention for a few reasons. One is the organization is actually communicating, look, we're actually concerned that when you come to work and spend most of your time in this space environment, that it is ergonomically set up not only for productivity and efficiency, but also for your own personal well-being. And so this week and this weekend, I've actually spent time in my home office, which is where I do a lot of my work, going through the ergonomics. How are we set up? And as I was going through, I actually realized there's a lot of things in my home office that had the push through mentality. Let's just forget about it. Look, let's just sit down, doc, and do work. It's really important just to get the work done. Let's just push through. But I actually realized that when we're actually doing that, we actually minimize a couple of things. First of all, we minimize that one of our main resources in being able to stay productive and efficient is us. And if there are things in our way, if things are not flowing smoothly for us in our workplace, we're actually expanding energy and resources to actually get around things when we don't need to do that. Second, it also minimizes the value of the work that we're doing. If you are in a professional service where a lot of times you are the deliverer of your service, so psychologists fall into that category, doctors fall into that category, professional helpers fall into that category. You are the service that you deliver, and when we don't actually take care of the environment that we're docking into, we're actually minimizing our ability and our service. Number three, I think, this is a bit provocative, I think it also minimizes that we aren't spending enough time thinking about how to set things up so that we deliver a quality service to the people around us. Our physical environment, let's start there. Have a look at the place that you're working in. Good morning, Kim. What's the weather like where you are? It's a bit dreary where we are. I'm just talking about the physical environment when you're setting up your workspace for burnout. Making sure that you only need to do something once, for example. Making sure that the implements and the appliances that you need to do an effective work is within your reach. This weekend, I actually redesigned my whole office space to facilitate productivity and maximal focus in my work as I start. And this morning I noticed that as I woke up to walk into my office, I didn't have the dread and the kind of procrastination that I often feel when I walk into my home office, because I knew it was ready, it was prepared, and it was a validating environment that basically says, Valerie, the work that you do, whether it's at home or outside, is important. The people that you serve, whether at home or outside, are important, and your space in this environment is important. So just leave you with that thought and let me know, what is the one thing you could do with your work environment, whether it's ergonomics or just reorganizing the way that it's set up, the one thing that you could change today that would help you to be more productive and efficient. Kim says, yes, one of the rooms I subcontract in is very unattractive. Do you have one tip for subcontractors to make the room they are going into more inviting and productive? Well, let's start there. First of all, if any of my team are watching this video, you will know that this is something that we talk about, and I often feel very bad that I'm not able to give an immediate solution, but I would suggest that we have to do it together. We have to work out and communicate what's the one thing in this room that is really annoying you. And I know what that is for my group of psychologists, and I'm actively trying to put a solution for it. One of the other things is probably I would invite subcontractors to bring something with them. When I used to be in a service office, when I first started out, I'd have a little box of little homely things and productivity things that would instantly set up my space for me, a traveling mobile office kit, if you like. So during winter, it had a throw, and of course, making sure that all of my IT was light and portable and optimized to function in that sort of mobile way. Kim says, my home office is in the middle of my house and it is a horrible setup, but I don't have a spare room. This is a very common one for the sort of clients that I work with who often don't have a choice in their housing. I guess one of the things that I would say again is to have a space in your home, if it is in the open part of the house. It really depends on your style. Some people are a little bit more structured and planned in the way that they need their office. I am one of those people. But I would suggest and recommend that you again have one of those mobile traveling setups for your office, and then pack it all back into a particular space ready for you the next day. For a long time, I had to work outside in the dining hall, and that really wasn't working for me. And I was finding myself getting really, really stressed, really annoyed and frustrated. And through a matter of problem solving, we actually found a corner in the house that was better than the dining space. Just a corner in the house, and we bought a couple of inexpensive things from IKEA to make that corner something that was just a bit closeted for me, so that when I went in, I was 100% focused, there was no distractions, and I could leave that space. So that's just a couple of tips I probably would like to pass on to you. But thanks very much for commenting, and hope you will have a lovely day, even though it's a bit dreary where I am. Hopefully it's not so where you are. See you later, Demi. See you later, Kim.